What's happened, you bad motherfuckers? Uncle Joey here for another day on Uncle Joey's Joint. The Joint is brought to you by DraftKings. Listen to me. The NHL season is underway, and DraftKings has an unbelievable offer to celebrate the greatest sport on ice. New customers can bet $1 on any NHL game and win $100 in free bets if either team scores a goal. This week, Florida is coming up to see the Jersey motherfucking Devils, and it's going to be a fun time. Like I said before, and I'm going to talk about on this podcast, I'm having a great time fucking around with DraftKings. They got a social network. We can meet up on there, talk about picks, talk about parlays. They got casinos. They got college basketball. They got pro football. Fucking, it's happening right now. It doesn't matter if you're a one-time clapper or a deflection. However they light the lamp, you win. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, listen, I'm not worried about it. DraftKings is not going to leave you holding your dick. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes all season long with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports Contest. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at $1 million in total prizes with their first deposit. DraftKings is safe, secure, reliable. Best of all, you can withdraw your cash whenever the fuck you want. DraftKings is the king, the official sports betting partner of the NBA, UFC, and the NHL. What the fuck are you thinking about? I had a guy hit me up on Patreon. I had 6 winners. Too bad I wasn't in Vegas. What the fuck happened to DraftKings? Go to DraftKings right now. Use promo code JOEY, Joey. Throw down $1 on any NHL game and win 100 in free bets if either team scores a goal. This week, one puck in the net gets you, with promo code Joey, gets you $100 in free bets with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NHL. You got to be 21 or older. New Jersey, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Colorado, Tennessee. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit with a $1 wager required. And only one per customer. Don't get fucking cute. Restrictions do apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Now, if you got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. But if not, let's go to DraftKings and have a good time. Kick it up tonight with a tremendous hockey game. Tomorrow night, you got Miami and Baltimore. And then you got fucking college basketball on Friday. You got college football on Saturday. You got the NHL. You got NFL on Sunday and Monday. Who the fuck is better than you? DraftKings. Use promo code JOEY. The Joint is also brought to you by CBD Lion. Have you ever smoked a CBD joint? It's tremendous to see how good it feels when it hits your lungs and it gets distributed to your body. That's what CBD Lion is all about. They're the kings of CBD. Whether you want to do a tincture, a bath ball, a cream, the vapor pen, the kinesiology tape. Listen to me. These are the company that knows its stuff. Go to CBDLion.com. Read and learn about CBD, CBN. CBN will put you out quicker than anything. Try to get CBN on your own. You can't. That's where CBD Lion comes in. They are tremendous. You understand me? So, read. This is not no gas station attendant giving you information. This is Uncle Joey via CBD Lion telling you the advantages of how to use your CBD. What'll work for you? Will the gummies work? Will the tape work? Will the cream work? I don't know. Go to CBD Lion, read, and get back to me. Press in code JOEY or church and get 20% off your first order. CBD Lion, the fucking best. Now, if there's not anything else, let's get this motherfucking show on the road, cocksuckers. It's Wednesday. We got no time to fuck around.
Check 1, 2. Welcome to Uncle Joey's Joint.
What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? Welcome to the joint. It's Wednesday, the 10th of fucking November, moving right along. Thank God it's been a tremendous fucking week in Jersey so far. It's been in the 60s, hot as fuck. Well, not hot as fuck, but warm, mildly fucking tempered, bright, beautiful sun shining, birds are chirping, the trees are fucking, the leaves are falling off. It's just a beautiful time of the year. I'm happy you guys. We got a great fucking podcast today. I got a guest later on. Thank you for everybody who made comments on the pictures I posted yesterday from me and my 5 buddies. That's a great picture. I didn't even look at it that hard until I posted it, and I was like, that's a great fucking picture. And for you people that I put it up on Twitter and Instagram, and it's been hysterical, the shit that you guys were saying. This is the first cool post on Instagram I ever put up without people talking shit and saying stupid stuff. I mean, I know my hairdo's fucking ridiculous, but for you people who think we were coming on the changing flavors, no. And I know we looked fucking old in that picture, didn't we? We look like fucking young men. But for you guys that don't know, everybody looked old when we were growing up. It was fucking crazy how old we looked in that picture. That was the 8th grade trip we took to Philadelphia. We were going to go to Betsy Ross's house where they made the flag and all this shit, something else that's in Philly. And we were going to the Nutcracker Suite. It was like it was fucking yesterday. And we had buses, like, I forget the name of the university. Isn't it university bus with the schools and shit like that? I think university bus. And I remember the night before, I told my mom I was going on a school trip, and she's like, what are you bringing the kids? I'm like, bringing the kids? I'm not bringing them shit. She goes, you better get up to fucking ShopRite and buy some snacks for the kids. Let me give you some cash. So she gave me like $20. I bought like Yankee Doodles, Yodels, what's the yellow ones? Twinkies. I bought a box of Twinkies. I thought I had it covered. I didn't smoke pot then. I was in the fucking 8th grade. I think we smoked at the end of that summer. We started smoking, all of us. But we were no, I'm lying to you guys. We smoked at McKinley. Yeah, we smoked at McKinley. We used to smoke out of a glass, I don't know what you call them. It's not a pipe. It's just like a flute with a hole in it, and you put the joint in there, and you light the joint, and then you just go like whoop, 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 whoop.
We used to do it with deer antlers.
Yeah, something like that. Like you just, I forget what it's called. So we used to go to fucking Blimpie at lunchtime up in Union City. We'd fucking smoke, and we'd sit on that pipe. It was a little fucking pipe, and I put it in my back pocket, and while I was eating roast beef, fucking Blimpie made a tremendous roast beef sandwich with vinegar and oil. Oh, lettuce and tomato, onions, tremendous. No pickle. Shove it up your ass. I don't need a pickle on roast beef. There's no pickle on roast beef, cocksuckers. So we used to fucking do that shit. We smoked pot like once a month. We were petrified then. But I started smoking a little more. Like throughout the 8th grade, I think I smoked like maybe 4 or 5 times that whole year. But once we graduated, we were puffing that summer, getting ready for freshman year. But that 8th grade picture was taken. Everybody kept thinking it was the changing flavors or the night that we were driving by sound. No. So we went to Philadelphia. We went to Betsy Ross's house first. We had to wait online. It was fucking cold out and shit. We got through it, and then we went to the Nutcracker Suite. We brought a bunch of fucking paper clips, and we broke them in half, and we all had rubber bands. So me, Orlando Salcedo, David Ruiz, Dominic Special, we sat and we just shot paper clips at the fucking people, one after the other. Pow, pow. The people who were performing. Let me tell you something. Those things hurt. When we were kids, they'd tell you, don't shoot paper clips because you're going to take somebody's fucking eye out. Like they banned it at school and shit. We stayed up all night breaking paper clips. We had rubber bands. So after about 30 minutes of shooting paper, I'll never forget, like we kept missing. Our aim wasn't good, At the beginning, our aim wasn't good. And then we got a hold of it. And there was like a 10 paper clip run. We all shot at them. And there were 2 principal people on the stage. I don't remember the fucking play. There were 2 principal people on the stage. And I remember that they were holding their legs like, ah. And after like 10 fucking hours, the curtain dropped and the house lights came on. And they fucking went out to the auditorium. They pulled us out of there, and we got thrown the fuck out. The teachers were mad at us for maybe 10 minutes. I posted a picture Tuesday. I posted a picture Monday of the whole 8th grade class. But Tuesday, I posted one of me, Anthony Balzano, God rest his soul, and Wally Lindsay. Wally Lindsay was a teacher I had. He was the mayor of Weehawken, but he was a grammar school teacher in North Bergen. Why? I don't fucking know. I found out that day when the ATF came and arrested him for fucking racketeering and murder. That dude in the picture I posted on Twitter and whatever went to prison for racketeering and murder. He was racketeering the waterfront in Weehawken, selling it without fucking, I don't know the whole story back then. But he did end up doing 13 years. And I spoke to Wally about maybe 7 years ago, and he was very fucking proud of me. So it all worked out. You know what I'm saying? So if you get to look at the pictures on Twitter, go on Twitter or my Instagram, Mad Flavor, and you'll see both pictures. They're cool pictures. I never saw them before. Some girl sent them to me. They're getting ready to do a McKinley reunion, so she sent them to me just to get me excited. I'm excited about it. It's next week. Let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? My schedule changes every other fucking day. I got something, but it works out. I got to talk to you guys about something and let you know what's going on. I was fucking excited this past weekend. I really was. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to be able to watch something I like. Like right now, I'm waiting for a couple of shows. I was waiting for Narcos. I was waiting for Cobra Kai with my daughter because we're going to watch that while she's off school all that week, Christmas holiday. I was waiting, but I was really waiting for fucking Narcos. Thursday night, I stayed up till midnight because I thought it came on at midnight, but it didn't. 3 in the morning? Yeah, it came on at 3 in the morning. When I fucking got up Friday, I went against my own will and I tried to watch the first episode in the daytime, like after everything was done. Obviously, I sat down, I watched the first episode. It was very weird. Second episode was a little weird. Finally, by the third episode, I started getting what was going on and I was still fucking confused. Then the 4th, 6th, and the 7th episodes picked up some momentum, and it led me into the 8th and 9th and 10th episodes, which they were okay. The show I thought was tremendous. I thought this year's show wasn't that fucking good. Like it just didn't grab you. And the ending was kind of weak, how he ended and shit like that. They had a couple of violent things. They threw a side story in there about a guy who was hunting a girl killer. He got fired as a cop. Trust me, way the fuck out there, okay? Let me tell you what happens, guys, before you guys lose your mind, okay? When you have a popular show, i.e. The Sopranos, Miami Vice, Narcos, the one that was on AMC, Breaking Bad, anytime you have a show like that, the first 2 seasons are blockbuster, right? Fucking people are talking about you. Everybody's talking about you. You're on TV Guide. You're fucking everywhere.
Like Dexter.
What happens is, and Dexter's another show that happened to also. What happens is the first 3 seasons, you've got the full writing crew, right? You've got the full write. These are the writers that were there from you from day one. But guess what? After your show gets hot, the hardest thing to handle is your writers because they all get offers for more money. When you're on a hot show, you go from being a writer to being a head writer on a different show or moving up 2 notches. Like you're more involved with the head writer, you're working with the producer. So every time you get a job, it's a way better job. You know what I'm saying? So like Miami Vice. You watch Miami Vice, first season was mind-boggling. Mind-boggling how good it was. Second season, Men's and Men's, they found out they had a hit show. Third season was pretty fucking good. After that, Miami Vice fell to the dogs. Cocaine, fucking egos, but most importantly, the writing. I mean, they had an episode about Martians on Miami Vice. How do fucking Martians come into cocaine in my fucking world? But whatever. So that's what happened on fucking Narcos. I mean, the writers just switched, and it's a fucking shame. I know he's got a couple other shows, Andrew Baez. He's got like Godfather of Harlem and some other show on stars. He's a great executive. Even like, let me give you an example. Sons of Anarchy, great fucking show. Okay, Sons of Anarchy ends. He goes over to Mayans. He's the executive producer, the showrunner, the whole fucking thing of Mayans. He was on it. Guess what? He had just done 7 years on fucking Sons of Anarchy. By the time he got to Mayans, he was burnt out. I'm talking about Kurt Sutter, the showrunner, the creator of all that shit of Sons of Anarchy. He was burnt out. He ended up getting fired from his own fucking show.
Really?
Yeah, he's not on the show no more. He's not on Mayans anymore. It's his show. He still gets a creator credit, 13, 14,000. I don't know exactly what it is. But no, and that's how fast that shit moves around. The result is you're sitting there going, wow, this show went to shit. No, it didn't go to shit. They changed their fucking writers. And that's what the fuck happens. You understand me? Miami Vice did the same. All those shows did. I don't think Breaking Bad did it. Breaking Bad held on. Yeah, they were pretty fucking good. But it's just some shows that they go down the fucking tubes, Today I got my friend Josh Wolf on the show. I noticed he put out a special last week. Me and Josh moved around the same time. He came to Nashville and I moved to fucking New Jersey. When I got here, me and Josh are tight, very tight. We're family tight. His family, I know his brothers, his parents, I babysat his kids. So throughout this whole journey of us being here, just because I didn't have him on the podcast didn't mean we weren't yakking. We've been talking the whole time, bouncing ideas off each other, and I'm really happy he's out of LA. I think that when you move to LA, sometimes you get too dependent on your agents and the people that are working around you, and we forget that we have to do all the work. I never forgot that. That you have to do all the work and bring it to them, and then they'll never initiate it. So for you young comics, you're like, I don't know what's going on with my agent. They won't initiate it. You can't just sit there and think your agent's going to get your shit. You got to keep working, and eventually you guys meet in the middle. And you bring them stuff, and I know you're paying them a commission. Why am I paying them if I got it? Guys, this is part of the business. So don't fucking feel bad about it. But, Josh and I had been in LA around the same time. I think he had been there about a year before me. We were together from 97 to 2001 just trying to figure it out, and like I told him, I'm going to tell you guys, we're writing the book, and we had to write this chapter a couple of weeks ago, and it was the best feel-good chapter of the book so far. Like, it was when we talk about me growing up, we talk about me going to prison, kidnapping people. This is completely different. This is when I get into an art, and I find friends that are like-minded. It was me, Ralphie, Gavin, a bunch of us, 6 or 7 of us. We were all broke. We were all going through the same thing. We were trying to find our fucking voices. We were trying to figure out what the fuck to do. And by the looks of it, man, we fucking did it. But the best time in my whole comedy career wasn't when I did the Chicago Theater. It wasn't when I did Town Hall. I like to think that. I really like to think that. I like to think those are the highlights of my life. When I did The Longest Yard, the best time I had on my career was when we were getting to that place, the struggle. You have to look forward to the struggle. If you don't, it's not going to work out for you. That's when most people quit. They don't like it. They don't like sleeping on floors. They don't like sleeping without a fan. They don't like going to bed with a fucking empty stomach. When you're first starting out in comedy, when you love comedy so fucking much, that's what you do. You starve for it. You sacrifice your family for it. You don't want to come home. Your mom will call you. Your family. You know how many times I was with comics and they're like, man, my parents, I haven't seen them in a year. They want me to come home for Thanksgiving, but I'm too fucking busy. And I would look at them not having parents, and I go, dog, run back and see your parents. And they're like, no, I'm too fucking busy. That's the love that you have to have for comedy. That's the love. That's the love you have to have for whatever you're doing. That's the passion that you have to have if you want to get to that place. Whether you're in a band, whether you play the guitar, whether you want to sing, whether you want to suck dick, whatever the fuck you want to do, that's the fucking cost of it, is sacrifice. And nobody, listen, one thing I can look you in the eye and tell you is that I saw Ralphie make sacrifice. I saw fucking Josh Wolf sacrifice, and I saw my sacrifices. And guess what? When I saw them sacrifice things, it was, I don't know, it was like, it inspires you. Like, this is what I gotta do to get to that place. And if that's what I gotta do, I'm gonna fucking do it. Before I introduce Josh Wolf, I gotta talk to you real quick about BetterHelp.com. Listen, today the joint is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. If you're scared of going to therapy like I was, think about it this way, okay? When you drive a car every 90 days, it goes for a fucking oil change, right? Right, well, the same thing happens with the brain. Going to therapy is routine maintenance for your mental and your emotional wellness. It's a tune-up, in a year not catching fire in the middle of the road. I never dreamed of going to therapy. I always thought I wasn't crazy. I always thought I didn't have mental health issues. When the pandemic came and whatnot, the world started getting mental health issues. I just got an email today from SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, about depression and what's going on over there. Going to therapy does not mean that there's something wrong with you. It means that you're investing in yourself to keep your mind healthy. BetterHelp is customized online therapy. They offer video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. You don't have to see anybody on camera if you don't want that. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you could start communicating with your therapist within 48 hours. Why invest in everything else and not in your mind, right? Everybody's talking about Bitcoin. You're gonna lose your fucking mind every day. I suggest you try it. I had some mental health issues this last year. I never had them. I had some feelings I wanted to take care of. I had some unattended issues I had to take care of. And that's exactly what I did. I had to take the blunt off my fucking shoulders. Like I said, why invest in everything else and not in your mind? Just for the joint listeners, what I'm going to do this month is give you 10% off your first month with BetterHelp.com/Diaz. I work with a therapist called Dana, and she's done great by me. I mean, we talk once a week. You can set up your appointment. It's easy to cancel if you're busy, and you do it at home on your time. She has nighttime appointments, daytime appointments, weekend appointments. So do yourself a favor. Go to BetterHelp.com. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Joey-Diaz, D-I-A-Z. Take control of your life. Go to BetterHelp.com. I'm going to give you 10% off the first month when you use code Diaz. BetterHelp.com. Online therapy that's going to rock your fucking world. I love it. I do it once a week. And you guys have seen the change in me. Right now, I want to present one of my brothers to you guys. I love him to death. We had a nice fucking chat. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you young comics are watching this. I want to introduce Josh Wolf. I'll see you cocksuckers afterward.
Check 1, 2. Welcome to Uncle Joey's Joint.
What up, Mook?
What's going on, man?
What's happening? Welcome to the motherfucking joint, my friend.
Yeah, I'm so psyched to be here. How you doing?
I'm putting the pieces together, man. Every fucking day is a different adventure.
Yeah.
One
What do you
day at
got?
a time.
What's that poster behind you?
The one you gave me.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce Lee and Danny DeSanto and shit. Looking
Yeah.
good back there. I got a mirror there. You want to cover it. I don't like looking at myself in the mirror at night. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. Sometimes I wake up, especially now, and in my brain, I wake up and I look like I did, 20 years ago. And I look in the mirror, I'm like, who's that fucking dude? You know what I mean?
It's scary when somebody gives you a picture of you or sends you a picture and you're like, oh, that's not good.
Do you know, Joe, when in your brain, you're like, I kind of look the same. And then someone sends you a picture from like a while ago and you're like, oh, no, I don't look
it's
I don't
it's
look
not
anything
fucking
like that
good.
anymore.
It's not good anymore. You know what I'm saying? You can lift all the weights you can. It's not good anymore.
I'm going to tell you something right now, dude. My skinny little legs are not getting any bigger.
Those things refuse to fucking work for you, Doug. Those motherfucking legs of yours just refuse. You got to put heavy fucking squats on there, like 300, 400 for
How long
three.
you known me?
Huh?
How long you known me now?
20 years?
Have these legs ever gotten any bigger than this?
No. It's a fucking shame. What a shame. You're going to have a hard time when you're 60. You're falling all the time. You're going to have a cart and a fucking helmet because, you might fall off the fucking cart and shit. That scares the shit out of me. Like people's parents start to fall when you're 55. I work on my balance every fucking night because of that. I am so scared. Ever since I fell off that fucking bike before I moved to New Jersey, I'm petrified of falling anymore. Petrified. That fall was horrible in LA. I'm lucky I didn't break my fucking shoulder, my neck.
But
Holy
at
fuck.
our age, when you fall on the ground, something bad's gonna happen. Something bad's gonna happen.
You watch football, you watch all these guys flying through the fucking air and hitting each other. I've been watching football this year, the last 2 seasons, because I'm not on the road no more. I got time to sit, pull up a chair, place a little fucking $25 bet and shit like that. I had the over last night, 2 nights ago, thank God. I got beat up this week on DraftKings. Them motherfuckers beat me the fuck up. Prop bets, everybody. I couldn't pick a winner Saturday night for the UFC. And then Sunday, you saw fucking Sunday. Anybody who got upset, I had them. Like I had the Rams. I had fucking Dallas giving 10,
I had the Bills.
I had the Bills giving 14. They lost by 3. They didn't know. It's like they didn't eat wings or some shit that week. I don't know what the fuck happened to them. But it's just, I had a winner on Monday night, and I'm happy. And I'm reevaluating my fucking gambling after this weekend.
Do you remember there was a dude I knew when we were in Seattle who parlayed the same, and I forget what 3 teams it was.
College. He would do it in
so
college
college
football.
3 teams. Remember, it was
top
like
3 teams. He
Miami, Oklahoma, Florida State, and he just rode those 3
every week.
Every week.
Every week. You're a winner at the end of the season. Not by much. You're not going to win a lot, but you're in the positive that those 3, unless they stop covering. Like last night, Dallas didn't cover. Once I seen Brett Michaels, I knew not to bet fucking Pittsburgh. I swear to God. Ask Jimmy Florentine. We were sitting at his house. I saw Brett Michaels. I go, I hope nobody in the room bet fucking Pittsburgh last night. He's the kiss of death. Sure enough, they didn't fucking cover. Anytime it's like fucking Pete Rose night or one of those celebrities going to show up and you get all, they're definitely going to win tonight. Fucking Joe Montana's there. They get killed. They always get killed.
One thing that for me, and you taught me this, the saying that America is not that smart. So when you see everybody betting on something, you gotta bet the other way.
You gotta bet the other way. And
you never see a bookie
that's
with a
another
part-time
thing.
job. That's what you told me.
No,
you never see a bookie with a part-time.
And that's what I like about Yahoo. Yahoo, what you do is, let's say you're looking at a game. You're looking at, I don't know, the Cowboys against Denver. Don't fucking remind me. I love the Cowboys, and they're giving, I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about here. I lost my train of thought here.
We're talking about the betting on what everybody else is betting on.
Right. Let's say they're giving 10, whatever. You go to Yahoo and you click on that game because Yahoo tells you what games are up that day. Click on that and the game, it'll tell you, first place in the Eastern Conference, third place in the Western Conference. And then you scroll down and it'll actually have the breakdown, the money line and the total of what America's betting. It's pretty interesting. It's very fucking interesting what everybody's looking at, and that's what you base your picks off of, I'm not greedy. It's not like, I was thinking about this the other night, how gambling has changed in my life. Gambling we did to make money, to actually think we were going to beat somebody and make $8,000 and get our dick sucked. No, that's not going to work that way. I put a nickel in there. I had a G in there till this weekend on $25 stupid bets. The World Series, I just bet. I didn't even bet the World Series. I would bet a run to score in the first inning. And
that's a smart way to go, right?
Yeah. They always hit a home run in the first inning except for 2 games. They always scored. When the playoffs, I always bet the first run. Florentine used to laugh at me. He goes, don't you pick a fucking side? I go, nah, they got all these prop bets. I don't want to sit and watch a game for 3 hours to get the final result. That sucks dick, and I don't want to sit there. So I'd rather just put a prop bet in. You know where you stand at the end of the first inning. They have first 5 innings. They got so many fucking things you could bet on that it's kind of fun, you know?
Yeah.
Listen, you're just betting 10. There's some nights I'm bored. I'll play blackjack for a quarter. I'll win, and I'll quit when I win $1. At least I'm up $1 for the day.
Yeah.
I did okay. I made $1. That's it. Another day, another $1. You make a fucking $1.
Were you the one who told me also Friday night NBA home teams?
Always. As soon as the line shifts,
Yeah.
the more points they're getting, the more money you're putting on that team. So if you like, I love the Celtics on Friday night. The Celtics and the Sixers at home, the line is up, and especially like if you bet the Celtics from California, you get a decent line. But if you call Boston to bet the Celtics on a Friday night, the line is definitely a half a point to a point, maybe a point and a half bigger. They do that because you live in Boston. You're not going to bet Toronto. You're going to bet Boston. So when that line shifts 2 points, and it happens all the time. I always look at the Tuesday, you look at the games for the week. Now I don't look at them no more. Sunday, you look at them again. The games that you were looking at, the 3 games you were looking at, if one of those lines changes in either directions, you go where that line changes. So if that line goes up, you bet that team. If that line goes down, you bet that underdog. They're forcing you to bet.
Who's your team this year in football that you've been riding?
Tennessee's a sleeper. I'll tell you who won me some money, Indianapolis. Nobody saw them coming. See, now everybody see them coming. Now you can't bet football. After this week, I'm done with football. That's it. I'll switch it up to college basketball on Monday nights. That's great. And just bet on Monday nights on college basketball. It's a fucking system. But if you fall into the system, it's not going to be fun anymore. You know how many people I know that don't watch sports because they caught a beating gambling? Beatings. Like they had to get jobs, they had to borrow money from their mother, they had to pimp their wife out, the whole fucking deal, because those people do not watch sports anymore. I don't want that bad feeling. You know, I want to enjoy myself, you know? So if it's $10, who gives a fuck? I won't eat Chinese today. I'll just bet fucking, I don't do basketball, though. NBA and baseball will fucking kill you.
Baseball for sure.
Baseball will kill you. Anything that's every day will kill you. I don't like basketball, betting it. I'll watch a game. The Knicks are good this year. I'll watch them for 3 minutes, and I'll move the fuck on.
Yeah, for me, baseball is the hardest because truly look, over the whole season, you can bet on a team, right? But on one single night, look, Pedro Martinez lost games. Right? In order to win on a Pedro Martinez game, you had to bet so much, right?
Yeah.
But that dude lost too. Baseball is one of those games. It's not football, right? 16 games. You know this team's going to go 12-4, whatever. The 162 games. So they're going to lose a lot. Do you know what I mean? And on those any given nights, it's too much of a risk for me. And especially the good teams in baseball, with a good pitcher, you got to bet so much for it to make sense. You know what I mean?
The UFC the other night had a couple fights that if you bet $25, you won $37. It's not worth me sweating bullets for $12.
Nah.
You know, I don't want to sweat bullets for $12 fucking dollars. I don't mind playing a hand of blackjack for $2 or, whatever. I don't want to sweat for fucking 13. So I won't bet it. You know, sometimes the odds are shitty. With gambling, I got to do what I like. I don't fucking play games like, let's see. I'm very serious, and I take it seriously, like I like it. I wouldn't do big because I have a daughter, and I have a wife, and I have mortgage payments. And I know what happens when you start betting $5,000-$10,000. It's just, you're going to lose. You're going to lose.
It's when you start chasing your money.
If I could play the whole season on one fucking deposit, I could care less. And then do maybe college basketball for March Madness again. But I won't do anything that's every day with gambling. That's where you get caught up. That's where you die, when it's every fucking day.
Yeah, the dudes who chase their money. Like I've gotten good at not chasing my money anymore. I'll take it. I'll take an L. I'll take an L because I know next week I'm gonna try again. But I don't lose a bet on a Saturday and chase that money throughout the weekend anymore. I remember doing that, man. If you lose that big bet on Saturday, you chase that money the whole weekend.
Next thing you know, you're up at 4 a.m. snorting coke, waiting to get the score from Hawaii. Once you're watching Hawaii, you know you're a fucking loser. If you're betting Hawaii, I got to be honest with you, and I hate saying this to people, but you're a fucking loser. If you're sitting there waiting for Hawaii to score, doing coke, you know, it's not going to work out for you. I know a couple guys that lived on fucking Hawaii, and they got killed. I know my brother. He's fucking, you know, you can't even mention Hawaii in front of him. You can't even fucking mention Don Ho in front of this fucking guy because Hawaii killed him.
I'd be lying if I told you I didn't watch a couple Hawaii San Diego State games in my day. Just fucking like, that's that last game of the night.
That last
you know
4 a.m. and shit. It's a fucking nightmare. That's my rule number one. If you got to bet Miami, it's time to do something different. You got to sell pencils to blind people. You got to make it work for you. You got to make believe you're blind. I was thinking about that the other day. There's no blind people no more selling fucking pencils. What a nightmare. This country has become rude. Jesus. Even a blind guy. You never see a blind guy at Walmart no more, standing out there with some pencils and shit. Talking to some blind chick and shit, you know. How you doing, baby girl? Hold on, I'm going to sell some pencils. I'll take you over to some eyeglass wear. It's fucking crazy.
Oh, my God, man.
How's Tennessee, man?
I love it, dude. I feel really good. I should have left Los Angeles 5 years ago.
Me, 2015. That's when I should have left. Before I saw Behind the Iron Rod curtain.
Yeah. And I was telling you this earlier, man, but for me, I didn't see the gradual change in who I had become there. It slowly started to take a little bit away from me. And not until I got here did I look back at who I'd become and been like, I'm embarrassed. I was embarrassed about the dude that I had become and the things that I had made important in my life, you know?
So had I. I take a look at that. I didn't like my behavior the last 5 years. Across the board. It worked for then. I don't know who that dude is anymore. Like, when I watch old churches, a clip or something, I have no idea who that dude is anymore. I appreciate that motherfucker with all my heart. But it was weird. I was thinking about our conversation before about L.A. and, I mean, we had it. Listen, I'm writing a book, Josh Wolf, and one of the best chapters I wrote was about 2 weeks ago about our lives from 98 to about 2000. You really look at that and you see, that's a movie. That was a movie. That's Almost Famous. That's all those movies you see on cable or on HBO about bands and, you know, Queen and shit like that. What we did should be a movie, should be a TV series. And it was one of the best times of my life. And we were broke. We were fucking flat broke. Some way or another, we were figuring out how to make a 10 here and a 15 there to snort some coke. But I probably had 3 pair of pants. I'm not ashamed to say this today because that was my strength, you know. I didn't buy underwear because if I bought underwear, that took away from my cocaine budget. So I had socks, pants, T-shirts, you know, but Schrader, Vista, Curson, Sierra Bonita, I mean, we could write a fucking show from those 2 years. Stealing cigarettes from the Arab guy when he was pumping gas, you know, going to the Sunset Grill. Yeah, going to the Sunset Grill when the dude had the platform foot and he would swing his leg around. That's the guy Don Henley was talking about. You know, I thought the Sunset Grill was his place with chicks and shit like that. And it's on the street. It didn't have a sitting area. And it was 2 Mexican chicks with an old guy who had to pick up his leg to fucking throw it around. Like if you threw a curveball at him, like let me get a double cheeseburger. He's like and he'd have to pick up his leg and whip it around. And then with the fucking, I mean, it was just You cannot fucking believe these stories, and that's my next venture. Is that, call it 5 blocks. I was, fucking playing tennis with Doug Stanhope, Mitch Hedberg, talking to Mitch about the arguments he would have with Nick DiPaolo, who was his next door neighbor. He would bang on the door. Ralphie May cooking barbecue fucking turkeys at 6 a.m. with Jay Moore in the backyard. And nobody had dough. Not even Ralphie. At that time, Ralphie didn't have dough.
No.
It was just a fucking...
You know what it was, Joe? You know what? One of the reasons that I look back so fondly on it is because all this other bullshit that you realize is around, you're more aware of the bullshit the more successful you get because you're more exposed to it. But at the time, it was just that group of dudes, all with the same goal, just figuring out how to create, and it was all about that, dude. It was like, what bit are you doing? Going to watch somebody wait in line and watch them do their 5 minutes and work on a bit, talking about the bit afterwards. It was so collaborative, and it was really all just about us and doing this job that we really also at the time, dude, you look back on it fondly because there was a strong love for what we did. We loved getting on stage. And I'm not sure that same passion, I don't know how you maintain that for however many years, but when I think, look, one of the reasons why I've changed so much about what I do on stage is because I need to keep it fun for me, or else I'm going to get bored. And if I get bored, like you, I'm just going to stop, right? If I get bored, I'm not going to do that job anymore. So I've really started to mix up what I do on stage, and it keeps me interested.
I was never bored. I think it's very fucking exciting work. Sitting here, not going on stage, reflecting a little bit every day, journaling. I'm very proud of my open mic career. Most people will never say that in the world. I had some ups and downs during my open mic career, but I really played it cool. And I didn't go anywhere I didn't belong before my time. And we fucking really worked. And, our common goal at that time was just to survive. Just to make it. We were living day to day. What spots you got tonight? We're going to go to the coffee shop and then swing by the Improv. And then, I fucking loved that journey. And it all goes back to 1998. This is the weirdest fucking thing. I went to the Riviera to do the Dirty Show. And I got on a Southwest flight in Las Vegas, and I saw Slash got on the plane. And I didn't say nothing to him. I had seen him at the store a few times. We went to the Riviera, the plane landed, I went to the Riv. I didn't think about it again, but there was a convention at the Riv. Some type of convention, like a guitar convention. There was something going on downstairs. And I went downstairs to walk around, and I actually saw Slash at a booth, talking to people, signing pictures and shit. And I went over and I go, hey, how you doing, man? He goes, good. And that was it. I didn't, it was good to see you, saw you at the store. Man, I was there with Chewy, the whole fucking thing. Mm-hmm. And I remember that night, I was fucking bored as shit after the show. It's a midnight show. It's like a late show in Vegas, 11 o'clock. And I went downstairs to smoke a joint. On the way back, I saw Slash there by himself. And I go, this is my chance just to ask him some questions, And I went over. I was broke. I was lonely. I was bored. And we started talking. And one thing led to another. And we actually started talking about careers and comedy and shit. And he's like, listen, you're broke right now, aren't you? And I go, yep. He goes, yeah. You're getting on stage every night. You're writing. At that time, I think I did a movie. Like I was in basketball or something. We were talking about that.
Oh, I remember that.
And he goes, listen, man, I want you to remember something. The best times you're going to have are right now when you're broke. This is the best. Once it becomes a business, some people hate it, and they move on. That's what happened to Axel. He was telling me that day. He goes, that's what happened to Axel. He just snapped. He couldn't believe he had all that success. in a rush, and he just he didn't smell the roses. And I'm really appreciative of my open mic career. Like I'm really proud that I did the building correctly. Like the building blocks, I did them correctly. For 2 years, I just got on stage and improvised. You know, for 2 years, I got some material, and I would do a hybrid type of thing, improvise and do material. Then I started yelling, and then I moved to L.A., and I started, when you talk on stage in L.A., they ain't going for that shit. It's not New York City. Hey, where you from? What do you do for a living? They fucking, so that was the end of that. And then I went through the Rodney Dangerfield period, and then that didn't work. And then I finally realized that I had to tell stories to connect with people. And that's how we got to where we were. And it's just funny that I had a great time going to Milwaukee and Chicago and Zanies and, all these theaters and shit. But it didn't beat the time we had in Seattle.
No, man.
Didn't beat
the broke, but sitting down at that, I forget what that 24-hour cafe was out near where you hid in the trash can with Rico.
Yeah, the
Hurricane? Was it called the Hurricane?
The Hurricane. Yeah, the Hurricane.
Yeah. I remember going there after open mics. And, in Seattle, I didn't have money, but I had more money than everybody else because of Lobo Loco. And I remember going there and we'd buy a pot of coffee with Brody and maybe Tana, and we'd sit at the tables after open mics and just talk comedy, just for the love of the comedy. And let me tell you, when I say bored, I'm never bored on performing, but I like to challenge myself with something new every night, because the new things, if I know there's something new in my act, it fuels my entire act. The excitement of trying something that I haven't done before, but that excitement back then of not knowing, dude, we didn't know what to say or what was going to be funny. We just knew that we all shared this love for this thing. And it was really exciting, man. And I got to tell you, I'm really glad that I feel lucky that I get to start with you and Brody. I feel really lucky. You guys taught me a lot, because you guys had a different path than me. I don't want to say my path was easier, but especially early on, you guys were extreme people. You know what I mean by that? I could step on stage and fit in. You guys had to find your people.
Yes.
And so
Absolutely.
I was always fascinated by you guys, because watching you, even on the way up, maneuver that. Like I said, for me, easier. The way I look, I'm a white dude, I'm going to kind of fit into most rooms that I stand on stage. You two and I'm kind of middle of the country, relatable kind of person. You guys were extremes. And so it was fascinating for me to watch you guys do the same thing I was doing, but have such a different journey. Like the audience's reactions to you guys, especially when they didn't get you.
Ooh.
Was something I never had to deal with.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Especially when you were this Joe Diaz, when you were this guy.
Ooh.
This dude, the hand pumper, you made some people nervous up front, Jack, when you were doing this. God damn. Do you remember the very first time? The very first time I saw Brody snap on stage was at the Underground, and his jokes he was bomb. And he said, I don't think you understand, people, how hard it is for a single man to shave his own back by himself. He goes, I got trouble spots. And he lifted up his shirt and he showed the patches on his back. Yo, I was trouble spots. I was howling, but I was like, in my life, I'll never have to do that. You know what I mean?
It was great.
Yeah.
To watch Brody, especially at the store and at the Underground. I have those memories drilled. Listen, man, I have a problem. I can't remember nothing from 2010 on. Like if you bust my balls about 2014, I don't know nothing. Between the edibles, the fucking reefer, the kid, God knows, nothing. I destroyed my fucking memory.
Yeah.
But I have real memories of Brody, like on stage at the store, and me going, I don't think Brody's gonna last, because he was having, like, when he first got to LA, he was going up there doing 8 minutes. They weren't on board, and he would just snap, and that's what made him funny. You know, we loved it. We loved it as comics and fucking, you know, in the back. But the audience, he was struggling. You know, he was struggling. And I respected Brody because he showed up every fucking night. He didn't give a fuck what happened the night before. He had the right attitude. That was last night, motherfucking. Tonight's tonight, okay? So it's funny that we did learn a lot from one another. I learned a lot of shit from... Do you remember doing the fucking industrial that Saturday? Like in September, we had to do an industrial shoot where we had to just pick up boxes and drop them off for people. Like, just pick them up and drop. They gave us like $75. It was like UPS, and all me, Josh, and Gavin did was like pick up boxes. And like every once in a while, we wave at the camera, and the guy would go, "Don't do that." And he would fucking. And I remember going, "This is my first industrial. Oh my God, I'm on my way." Like I still remember going to LA. My first audition was Judy Brown called me up. She was booking the Jenny McCarthy show. For you people who don't know, Judy Brown is one of the biggest managers in the world today. Sebastian, Whitney, fucking Bill, what's his name? Not Bill Burr, but Bert Kreischer. I'm really proud of Judy. Judy came a long way. I met Judy in Colorado Springs when she was charging $20 to take a stand-up class before you could do the open mic there and shit. I'm like, Judy, I'm not paying you $20. Every time I see her, she's like, "You never paid me that $20. I'm not going to pay you that $20. In fact, you owe me $35 from fucking Vail." How's that? When my car blew up and I left it there and I had to call the dealer and go, "You know, remember that nice fucking car that was there? Yeah, the engine blew. Where are you?" I'm in Vail. I quit.
I'm in Aunt Manny's car.
Dog, I fucking quit. I'm in Aunt Manny's car. I was talking about the Aunt Manny car the other day when it got towed. And I tried to go down to Hollywood to get my shit out of it, and they're like, "You need a registration." And I actually went home and like got Carol's registration and tried to fucking.
How many tickets were on that car?
200.
That's not an exaggeration, by the way. 200. I remember seeing those tickets in the back seat. You should just take them and throw them in.
I just took them and threw them in the back and shit. I still remember the lady would follow me, the little black lady she had like a fucking cheese Danish on her head. She spun it around her head like the afro. She was the most angriest woman in the world. I brought her flowers. I sang her Michael Jackson songs. I would sing her Al Green songs. I threw the whole black catalog of love music at this sister because she was fine too. Yeah. And she would get out of my face. And I remember finally one day she goes, "I'm just going to keep giving you tickets." And I go, "Fuck it." I had a stack and there must have been 100 in there. She goes, "Ooh, Lord, you're going to go to jail." And they didn't tell me in Hollywood. They got me up in fucking the Valley. Yeah. They got me in the Valley with that fucking car. I was in there taking a shower. I go outside to get my shorts. The car is gone. I didn't bring all my luggage with me. I just took a T-shirt. If I would have brought my whole luggage with me, I wouldn't have been in this predicament today.
Let me tell you, when I used to get in, I remember getting in that car and looking in the back seat and being like, "You got some tickets?" And you're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Are you going to pay them?" And you're like, "Nah, they're going to have to come get me." And that was it.
That's it. What am I going to pay them with? With what? What do you want? My good looks? The car had no brakes. No brakes. I would have to step on the fuck. I was like Fred Flintstone for real. I'd have my foot on the brake and the other foot outside the door, stopping the fucking car. I dog on the 405 South. I had to do it one time. The car had a tremendous cassette player, a sunroof, and air conditioning. You don't know how many times I would just park on the street, pop the seat back, boom, and just pop the sunroof. I still remember being on Vista and jerking off, doing coke in the car, fucking jerking off, and then taking napkins and put them outside And I remember waking up in the morning when the sun wakes you up and stretching and looking down and seeing like 8 little sperm napkins and going, this is not good. This is not good. I jerked off on the street on Vista.
By the way,
I'm going to hell.
I would not be surprised if those sperm napkins were still on that street right where you left them.
Drive right down the block. There's probably a homeless guy wiping his face. He's just eating his Subway sandwich, and he's taking my little sperm napkin and wiping his sides like Grey Poupon and shit.
Yo, do you remember when that dude, oh, by the way, Jacob Wolf was at that Travis Scott concert on Friday? Yo, I forgot to tell you this. So I'm so glad I was asleep, but I wake up to a text. Hey, I'm all right, but shit got real hairy. So he and his girlfriend have bruises circling their body from where they were being smushed by the crowd. He showed me. My man just has bruises because he was being compressed. Oh, Joe, I forgot. This story is so bananas, man. He said at one point, his girlfriend, who's smaller, her feet weren't touching the ground, but she was stuck between people and just being moved. She was like this, and so many people compressed, she was being moved by the crowd. And he said that he would look down and he would see people's faces. Everyone was just walking on people, and you couldn't bend down because if you bent down, you were next. He was like, so you were literally you would look down and see faces of people looking up at you, and you could not reach down to help. Crazy, right? Have you? Because I know how many concerts you've been to, dude. You've been to, and you went to 70s arena rock, right?
Yeah.
Can you ever remember anything like that?
I told
At any of the concerts?
I told Mike, I love music. I love everything about it. I don't like this shit now because you got to show up with a vaccine card and shit. But that's a complete different fucking story. I went to the Ted Nugent, Aerosmith, Poco, Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush. I mean, it was just a lineup and a half. It was like one of those 1 o'clock shows that you're still there at 5:30. And at 5, we looked at each other. Aerosmith was so fucking bad.
They were? What year is this?
This is 78. This is the summer of 78.
Oh, they were fucked up then.
Yeah, they were on their way down.
Yeah.
Done with Mirrors, hadn't been out yet, but they were done. And Joe Perry smashed his guitar and stuff. I went there to see Ted and Aerosmith. Frank Marino took the oxygen out of my lungs. Like Frank Marino took everything out of my lungs. Like I couldn't even fucking wait. It was hot. It was humid. People were sweating. There weren't no water bottles back then. Nobody had water bottles. Nobody had canteens. Nobody even cared about hydration. And I remember being there and like just going, we got to get the fuck out of here. There was a lot of dirty white people. People, like doing all that Grateful Dead shit. I didn't even know the Grateful Dead were at that time. I think I did, but I wasn't into them. And I was like, we had a great time. I remember walking home and finally getting to North Bergen out of Sea Caucus. We had been walking for about 45 minutes, and you could hear Ted's solos. Just in the air, like loud, like holy shit. We're walking on the turnpike, and you could actually hear Ted Nugent's. We stayed for maybe 4 of the Ted songs, and then we left, but I didn't like it. It was too long. It was a whole day. I was suntanned. I was hungry. I just wanted to go home, and I could see that not that one. It was fine there. It was fine up to the part I left. I left at like 5:30. I was there from like 12. We got a ride out there. We had to walk home. I just didn't like the amount of people, and I just thought I wasn't ever going to do that again. Yeah. So I've never gone to a Lollapalooza. I never went to a U.S. festival. I never went to the U.S. Open. I never did Odds Fest. I just don't need to stand for 7 fucking hours, I got a 1.5 hour fucking tolerance. Led Zeppelin, maybe 2, if they do Trampled Underfoot. But, yeah, I just don't. And this bothered me a little bit because I saw Houston, and right away I thought about Skankfest.
Yeah.
So I thought about Skankfest, Ari, Jimmy, Rich Voss, all my friends are there, Miss Pat. And then I saw it was this Astro World. What's the guy's name? Travis Scott?
Travis Scott, yeah.
I've never heard of this guy before.
It's Jacob's guy. Travis Scott and J. Cole, that's Jakey's. Those are the hip hop guys for Jake.
Okay, I think he's did something or whatever. I don't know. I've never heard of him, you know.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean shit. I'm a fucking old fogey, so I don't know anything about young music. But I don't think they're doing the right things at these concerts. You know, if you notice, everything's coming to a head. Movie sets, you know, everybody's looking at Rust as this problem. The problem was earlier with that fucking Marky Wahlberg, Kevin Hart movie they did in Hollywood. Some guy fucking died on there or whatever. You know, these concerts, everything is getting bigger.
Yeah.
Everything is getting bigger. Everybody's trying to make money. Everybody's trying to make the money they lost last year. I don't know what it is. And I don't know what's making all these people want to come out to these things. I mean, you know, 60,000, 70,000 people with just an AC for, not Tool, but who was it? It wasn't Tool. Somebody else came and did like the whole weekend. You couldn't even get a hotel in Atlantic City. And they showed pictures of it. I forget what the guy's name was, the band. You know, and they're all there. I mean, we're in the middle of fucking COVID. I mean, the numbers are down. Nobody gives a fuck. But, you know, you just have too many people. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like what we were talking about when you gamble. When you gamble 2 days a week, you got a better chance than gambling 7 days a week. The more spaghetti you throw up on the wall, it's going to stick eventually. You know, with these concerts, I like little things, man. Like I went to see the last concert I went to was Guns N' Roses on Sunset and Vine, a little down from that, a little club there.
Yeah.
What I don't know what it's called. That was 1,700 people. The Palladium.
Yeah.
The Palladium. And then I went somewhere in Beverly Hills to like a little theater, and I saw Pat Benatar. And it was great in the little fucking theater. And I liked where I saw Guns N' Roses. I don't mind paying the extra yardstick.
I agree.
I don't mind for a little bit more intimate setting. You know, I got this thing here, the Pack Center or whatever up here. It's supposed to be very nice. It's like the place in Colorado. Not Red Rocks, but the other one.
You know, I feel the same way. I personally enjoy the music, and I enjoy the performance of stand-ups and musicians more in smaller places. I hate seeing stand-up.
I don't want to go to an arena and see anybody.
I don't think, by the way, I don't think it's good for comedy.
I don't think it's good for comedy, but
I think everybody is a better comic in a club. I think the energy's better, or a smaller theater. Do you know what I mean? But that energy and your interaction. But as soon as I'm in an arena watching my comedy on a giant screen, I don't think it's as good.
I think you lose something. And even like a big theater, you lose that intimacy. I love watching stand up with a brick behind there, a brick wall and a microphone and his bottled water. I don't need much, you know. I don't need much. I like smaller venues, you know. The reason why I put you on here today, I'm getting a lot of emails about your new special. I want to congratulate you.
Oh, thank you, man.
On your new special on YouTube. I'm just really proud of you, man, because you're doing it. If I was doing comedy right now, I'd be doing it how you're doing it. Very compact, very small. You know what our mistake was? I'm going to write a book about stand-up comedy after I finish this book. I've been making a lot of notes at night of things I would do differently. Want me to tell you what the thing I would do differently if I got a chance to do it again?
Yeah.
I would have never gone to L.A. I've been thinking about it. I was never, ever going to go to L.A. That was my fucking number one rule when I got into comedy. I am not going to go to L.A. My uncle's there. I hate L.A. I fucking always hated it. I had been there 10 times. And I didn't think... I just, over the years, on the triple runs, I spoke to all those mediocre comics. Good guys. They just went out there unprepared or whatever. They never fell in. They never got on the line. They never got on the conveyor belt. L.A. beats you up very roughly. It didn't beat us up very roughly. We had we had peaks and valleys there. But LA has beat up some people. You and I have both watched how many people left with their tail between their legs. I think that how they treat stand-ups and shit like that, I think it's not healthy. I loved it. I loved banging head. Listen, I got no regrets about my career. I loved that those people, when I was doing comedy at the 10-year mark, told me I was never going to be any good. And those same people had to come suck my dick at the 22-year mark. And I remember looking at them, taking their check and laughing, petting them on the side like it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You had to bite your own tongue. You had to suck my dick even though you didn't like me. But now, so I felt bad for those people.
Yeah.
But I would have just become a powerhouse comic. I wouldn't have worried about. Think about career if we didn't worry about movies, TV, and everything else. I like the podcast angle of it. I really enjoy the podcast angle of it. I'm happy that this avenue grew. I'm happy that this really blew up out of proportion. I don't give a fuck about what people say that there's too many podcasters. There's never enough podcasters because there's enough ears for all of us. I'm not mad at anybody for podcasting, but I wouldn't have gone that way, Josh Wolf.
Yeah.
I think I would have stayed in a really good, right now, every city is a good comedy city. Every city is great. Boise, well, I don't know what's going on in Seattle. People are marching up there. I don't know what's going on in Portland. I don't know what's going on in L.A., but I know Arizona's tight. Austin is tight. Houston's tight. Boston's tight. New York is tight. All these little pockets are big. You don't have to go to L.A. no more. For all you young comics watching, you could go to New York, get tons of stage time, and they're going to come to you when they come to you.
People ask me a lot, I'm sure they do too, about advice for stand-up. Mm-hmm. And it's really simple. Get on stage. And if you're in a place where you can't get on stage, you need to move to a place where you can get on stage. That's it. It doesn't have to be LA anymore. It doesn't even have to be in New York anymore. But I would tell you this, if you're only getting on stage 2 or 3 times a week, then give up. Then if you're starting and you're getting on stage 2 times a week, and the people who are already successful are getting on stage 3 times more than you, I tell people, like, if you're not, then you're already going backwards. Just move to a place where you can get on stage and do you still have your notebook about all the sets you did? You should show people. You want to know what work is? You want to work? I marveled at you wrote down what jokes you did, like how it went, but meticulously. And so this is the type of, when you say, I'm glad I put the work in, you gotta put every brick in the pyramid. You can't skip a brick. And there are just some paths you need to take. And one of those paths is, if you say, I can't get on stage because, you've already lost. If you're like, I can't do 3 times a week because I got a job. Well, then you should do that job. Because what it takes to get to where you are is the work that you put in. Do you know what I'm saying? So like when people ask all the time, what should I do? How do I write? Get on stage. That once you're on stage,
you'll figure everything else falls into place.
Everything else.
Once you go down there and you talk to people who are going through what you're going through, I mean, it's such a beautiful life in the beginning. Like all these people looking to help you, and you're teaming up with people, and you're writing, and you're smoking dope, and you're doing all this with $5 in your pocket.
Yeah.
There's no Lamborghinis. There's no fucking grandioso computers. There's no fucking, you're just doing this and you're loving it. You're loving that you're broke. It's great to be broke and go, where am I going to eat lunch today? I don't know. Let's play the cards. And all of a sudden you're walking down the street and you find the Subway sandwich on the floor. It's a fucking trip. You're like, oh shit, I'm eating. Okay, I could save my 82 cents that I have in my pocket for tonight. I got to get another 17 so I could eat my fucking Wendy's. That's what I ate every day. When I first moved to LA, it was the 99-cent burger, the cup of chili, and the Wendy's salad. And then I go to your house, get a little turkey salad.
Hell yeah.
I still owe you $2,000 for the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Fucking Blake was talking to me about your peanut butter and jelly company the other day. Blake called me for something from CAA, and we were talking. He goes, I still remember you and Josh walking into the building with the peanut butter. I'd be holding Jacob. You'd be holding a box of peanut butter jelly. And then you'd always go, I was short one peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And you look over at me like I knew it was you. I know for a fact everybody was robbing Josh Wolf then. Josh couldn't turn around. Me, his wife, his brother. I remember his brother used to work in Compton and shit, and they used to charge us for local phone calls. Josh would be pulling his hairs out of my head. Who keeps calling Compton? Who keeps calling Compton? I don't know no black people. I don't know any black people.
You remember?
Yeah, Jonathan was going, I don't know anybody in Compton. Jesus Christ, you just showed up with an African American. You know somebody in fucking Compton.
You teach at Crenshaw, dude. He's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know
anybody. Somebody's calling Crenshaw. I was stealing your Yoo-hoos. God knows when your ex-wife was stealing.
You steal every fucking
Dog, listen. I'm going to tell you something. Today, I live a decent man, okay? I'm a very decent man. But a bottle of Yoo-hoo, I'll pay for. A can, I'm taking that motherfucker. I fucking went to a place last week that they had Yoo-hoos in a can off the 9. I was fucking starving, and I was coming back from like somewhere, and I was like, I can't take this no more. I wanted this was one of those broken down New Jersey bagel places. They only had like a half a raisin, cinnamon, and shit. That's it. But the guy I had to put a ham and cheese on a fucking onion bagel. Not too good, but it worked that day. But on the way out, I saw that motherfucker had a Yoo-hoo in a can. He had 3 of them, the last 3. Because I can't find them anymore.
Yoo-hoos?
Yeah, in a can.
Oh, the canned Yoo-hoos. Yeah, they taste different, right?
They taste different.
Yeah.
They taste like the ones at Callahan's. There's a place, Callahan's, up there, and they have them on the machine.
On tap.
Oh, on tap. Shit.
Have you tapped back into Carvel at all since you've been back home?
Like a motherfucker, okay? And my daughter fucking loves it. Let me put this where I've got. Let me be as honest as I can with you, okay? I got a regular one owned by Chinese people on the 516, on the 520. She doesn't make ice cream sodas or shakes. It's a new modern Carvel, okay? Not bad. Then there's one on the 79. That's pretty fucking good. Chinese people. And then there's one in Cheesequake where I go to jiu-jitsu. Oh, she's owned it for 30 years. She's got to be 300 pounds. And she works it in the daytime. So she knows how to make everything fucking perfect. Thin shakes, ice cream sodas. So when I go to jiu-jitsu, that's my deal. If I go to jiu-jitsu and I work hard on my private, I stop at Carvel on the way home, and I get an ice cream soda with no ice cream in it. And I buy a box of sundaes for my daughter. So right now in that freezer in the garage, there's a box of sundaes sprinkled, and I have maybe a whole thing of flying saucers.
That's the one.
Chocolate ones, vanilla ones. I got plain and with colored and chocolate sprinkles.
That's the one.
So,
that's the one.
yeah.
That's the one.
And you know what? Look, I'd lost the weight, but I still do 1 Carvel a week.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, first of all, when I was growing up, anybody who had a freezer in their garage was rich. If you had a refrigerator in the garage or a freezer where you had extra shit, that meant you had, to me, that meant the pinnacle of opulence. Do you know what I mean? You're like, you got so much shit.
No, this is a little box refrigerator.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody gave this to me in L.A. My neighbor gave this to me. And we have a couple things. Like, we have steaks and shit in there. Like, it's just meat. That I saw her this morning pulling ground beef out for fucking meatloaf tonight.
Dude, I didn't say thank you about the special, and thank you so much. Just so you know, man, like right now, every time I get on stage, all I focus on is having a good time. I'm like, I just want to make sure I'm having fun. And if I'm having fun and having a good time, they're going to have fun and have a good time. And this special, the way I shot it, this is the most me I've ever done. But the way I shot it, that middle camera when you shoot is stationary on sticks. I had mine move just a little bit because I wanted you to feel like you were in the club. So it moves a little, and I left every mistake, every hiccup. I start jokes over. If I make a mistake, I go, my bad. I wanted you to feel like you were in the club with me. So it doesn't feel like, I wanted it to feel like a live experience. And then, you shoot too much, right? Because then you take out. But then I was like, wait a second. This is my special. This is on YouTube. This is my channel. I'm going to leave the whole thing in. You can start and stop, fast forward if you want, but fuck it. Why am I editing my own shit? I edited things that were terrible, but I let it breathe. So I let you feel like you were there. Yo, when I read the comments, and I'm not lying to you, dude, I don't usually read comments on YouTube. Not one bad comment in that comment section, dude. It's been amazing. It's the best thing that I've ever done, without a doubt.
I'm really proud of you, man. I'm really proud that you did this all yourself. No more LA, no more agents telling you, oh, that's not going to work. My friend did. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. If you knew anything, you'd be doing this. So until you do this, shut your fucking mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've put together about agents now. All of them can just shut their fucking mouth. They know dick. They give you the worst advice in the world. The best advice anybody could give you, Josh Wolf gave it to you. Get on stage till your ass grows roots. Shut your mouth. Repeat, rinse, and do again tomorrow. It's that easy. Call me when you got 45. Until then, shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck. Well, Joe Rogan said I should be in a theater. You belong in Montana in the witness relocation fucking theater where nobody will see you, okay? That's where you fucking belong. The same way I did fucking comedy for the first 10 years so nobody would fucking see you. So you would grant them that, you know what I'm saying? So that the next born wouldn't be retarded. I don't want nobody to fucking see me. So everybody wants to be seen in the third year. Congratulations, brother. I love you to death.
And I love you, and thank you so much. And I owe you one apology. And I know you're going to tell me I don't, but for me, this is just where I am in my life. LA had kind of turned me into somebody that I just didn't, now that I'm here, that I didn't like, man. And those last 3-4 years, I don't really feel like I was a great friend to anybody. And so if I'm sure I had missteps or, I want to apologize for if there were any time that where I wasn't the best friend. I just got caught up. I got caught up in a way, me as a person. I never thought I would be worried about what other people were doing. I was meddling in other people's lives so much about what they had and what I didn't have and why he wasn't my friend and why I couldn't be on his show, that it was weak. It was weak, and I was living from a point and a place of weakness about wondering why I didn't have things and why I couldn't do things, instead of just really being grateful for things that I did have and the things that I could do. I have a great life, great family, great friends, great career. What am I complaining about? Do you know what I mean? And I feel like LA puts you in a corner to go, yeah, but you got this, but look what all these other people have. And you're like, well, fuck, this isn't good enough. I need more, Hey,
man, we do comedy. We don't worry about the Joneses. We only worry about one person, us. So I love you. Stay in touch. Good luck to you. Where are you at this weekend?
Mohegan Sun.
Beautiful. You're up in Connecticut up there?
Yeah, Mohegan Sun.
5 shows?
4 shows. Saturday and Friday already sold out, so they added Thursday.
Beautiful. Have a great weekend up there, my friend. Where can they find you?
Everything's Josh Wolf Comedy. Go to my YouTube channel. I put all my stuff up there for free. I put a new comedy bit up every week. I told you, I think from here on out, maybe no more specials, just 20 new minutes of stand-up every 3 months.
That's it. That's perfect. And they can live off that, and YouTube's paying. Nobody else is.
You're the best, dude.
I love you, brother.
I love you, man. I'm so happy for you. You look more relaxed than
I've
ever seen you.
Yeah. No. It's, I learned, next time I'll call you and we'll talk about my fucking lackluster experiences in LA. I had a few myself.
All right, buddy. Love you.
Love you. Stay black.
Later.
All right, you bad motherfuckers. We're back. I hope you enjoyed Josh Wolf and I a little tete-a-tete. We just talked about comedy and what's going on with our lives and what's happening. I want to thank Josh Wolf for coming on the show this week. I want to thank you guys for always having my back. You know, I went through a lot this year, but I'm feeling fucking tip-top magoo. And part of it is because of you guys for having my back, chit-chatting with me, you know, and always having a good time. I love you guys with all my heart. Stay black. Do not forget, Laughing Gas is stocked up over at the ice cream shop, and Packwoods has merged with us. And they're in stores all over fucking California, but we're getting licenses in Nevada, New Jersey, New York City. They're all coming. So we'll have Laughing Gas in a store near you in time, cocksuckers. Thank you. Thank you for watching The Joint. I'll see you motherfuckers Monday morning. Tip-top Magoo on the 15th of the month. I love you. Have a great day. And now for a word from our motherfucking sponsors, Jack. All right, I want to thank Josh Wolf, but most importantly, I want to thank you guys for always having my back. I hope you enjoyed it. Real quick, The Joint is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Listen, after the pandemic, it's all set us back a little bit. There's people who have pushed right through it. There's other people who have problems. Listen, there's nothing wrong with you, okay? If you're still scared of going to therapy, think about it this way. You got to change your all every 90 days to prevent bigger issues down the road. Therapy is the same thing for you, but it's for your brain. Going to therapy is routine maintenance for your mental and emotional wellness. I never knew that, and I wouldn't have gone even if you told me, because I was too much of a fucking man to go talk to somebody. But that all changed this year, and BetterHelp.com was there for me. They're tremendous. My counselor's name is Dana. She is great. Going to therapy doesn't mean there's something wrong with you, man. It just means that you're investing time in yourself to keep your mind healthy. BetterHelp is customized online therapy. They offer video, phone, and live chat sessions with your therapist. You don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to, and it's much more affordable than in-person therapy. And you can start communicating with your therapist in less than 48 hours. So if you reach out to them today, you'll be on the phone with your therapist by Friday. You don't have to feel this way anymore. Why invest in everything else and not in your mind? Just for you Joint listeners, I'm going to give you 10% off your first month so you see the advantages of BetterHelp.com/Diaz. Again, go to BetterHelp.com, fill out the information, pressing code Diaz. I'm going to give you 10% off your first month. Take control of your life and help you deserve with BetterHelp, okay? The Joint is also brought to you by CBD Lion. Did I read this one already? No. Okay, I just want to double check with you motherfuckers. CBD Lion is the best. How do I know? Because they pushed me through a surgery and a year of other injuries, from hamstrings to fucking shoulder pain to fucking insomnia. CBD Lion will cover you from all directions. CBD helps you sleep. CBD helps with anxiety. The CBD gummies that they have are tremendous. The vapor pens are tremendous. The cream is tremendous. The kinesiology tape is tremendous. And all you need is just a little strip of it. If you watch Monday Night Football this week, you see all those guys have the kinesiology tape on the back of their arms and whatnot. This stuff works, guys. You don't know where to get it? CBDLion.com. Go to CBDLion.com. Read, learn, see all the products they have and which products can help you the best. Once you figure out, go to the bottom checkout and press in code Diaz Joint or Church to get 20% off, okay? Delivered right to your house. Why buy CBD at a gas station when you got the best? CBD Lion. Again, go to CBD Lion, press in code Joey, Church or Joint, and get 20% off delivered right to your motherfucking house. The Joint is also brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. This weekend, they're showing up with an unbelievable offer to celebrate the greatest sport on ice, NHL. Florida's coming up to see the Jersey Devils this week. You want to be a part of it. Why do I love DraftKings as much as I do? I'll tell you why. Because they're fucking tremendous. Okay, from the prop bets to the casino to just everything that you could bet on there, from boxing to UFC, to college basketball. They got Chinese ping pong. Listen, they got it all. If two fucking roaches are going to have a race in Elmwood Park today, they got the line on DraftKings. Doesn't matter if you're a one-time clapper or a death deflection. However they light the lamp, you win. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state, DraftKings won't leave you empty-handed. Everyone can play huge cash prizes all season long with the DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports Contest. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. I love them. I use them all the time. Most importantly, you can withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Today, use promo code Joey. Let's get this week started right. Throw down $1 on any NHL game and win 100 in free bets if either your team scores a goal. It's that easy. This week, one puck hits the nets, you're getting your dick sucked with big money because of DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NHL, using code Joey. You got to be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Colorado, Tennessee, Connecticut. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit with $1 wager. One per customer. Don't get cute. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Now, if you got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. But if not, head to DraftKings and let's win some motherfucking Geeters. I want to thank DraftKings. I want to thank CBD Lion. I want to thank BetterHelp. I want to thank On It. And I want to thank Blue Chew for having our backs this week. But most importantly, I want to thank you fucking savages for always being here and supporting and showing up no matter what Uncle Joey shows up. I love you, cocksuckers. Have a great week. Stay black. I'll see you Mondays the 15th. Tip top Magoo.